Hey guys, Nightly Orbit, I'm Michael from Damnation here with
Fed Race from Damnation.
and this video is basically a showcase of what we've done so far we've started building Destiny 2 or Destiny 1 / type raid in Minecraft with actual working mechanics. So it's a working raid that'll require a fire team to do, except it's in Minecraft, and it uses various mod packs, which I'll show right now, and the global resources. So ambient sounds, John Smith Legacy, Carnage. Carnage adds like something like 40 new mobs into the game. It's pretty good, up to like 136 if you add the combinations. Shaders, and then we've got the things for that, behavior packs for the mobs. But this build over here, which is what you're looking at right now, is kind of summative of what we've been building. So it's kind of like Last Wish, crossing with the style of Crota's End, which you'll see later in here. This was mostly built by Fedmate over here. What were you going for when you were first building this?
Sort of like the Dreaming City Watchtower. I mean, it's a little miniature, but especially when I first built it before you made some changes.
Yeah, I added that little different bit over here that you could see my mouse on to the top of the tower. I'll make it midnight. That's what it looks like at nighttime. It looks really majestic. While I'm in F1, these are the crystals that we've added, which you can see throughout the Last Wish raid. And we've also got some embedded within the walls, and we've got some terraforming here, very light. This end portal kind of stuff we managed to glitch into the game. I'll link the video where I managed to glitch that into the game from Skippy6. It'll be in the description. But basically, there's a glitch so you can go to the end and get these blocks, and you're able to place them down. You can make Taken-looking stuff, which is the effect that Reese was going for here. So, should we start off with the first encounter?
Sure.
Okay, I'll quickly make it daytime because we don't need nighttime anymore. So this is the first encounter. This is what you're seeing from the outside. From the outside, it's just a big box, but you won't be seeing it from the outside unless it's intended. And in that case, we'll make it look good, but this one you don't. So this here is inspired by the progression point between the end of Shirachi and you're walking up to Morgus in the Last Wish raid, Destiny 2. And you're walking through a bunch of caves with crystals, some Taken stuff every now and then, and a bunch of Awoken temple stuff. This is made by Purple blocks. We got some stone, bedrock, and ores for the gems. And in the first encounter, this is your checkpoint for your team, where you can access your stuff. Yep. So simple. These crystals here, if you can't tell, because they are crystals, as a matter of fact, we tried. They're made mostly by a person called Zoc / Ash, Reese's brother. The shader really helps here, but it makes things look way too orangey. So as you can tell, you can hear the mobs. I'm going to put my sounds down so you're not annoyed by that. And basically the first encounter is like the start of Crota's End in the Dark Below expansion in Destiny 1. And if I quickly, I'm not going to press the button because that'll activate the mechanics, which will make me poisoned and slowed and get night vision and all that. Let's go through. Just gonna pop a night slash. Okay, that's better. Now we've got night vision. So basically, you and your team will be walking through this corridor blind, and over time, your character will slowly weaken to the point that they'll die, and then it'll repeat, where they'll get back to full health, slowly weaken, and then eventually die, and then the dying bit would be a wipe mechanic. But to be able to prevent yourself from dying, there'll be these little posts, which are scattered around the place, and I'll show you a couple within this maze. There's one over there. There's way too many mobs, which I will change, and I don't like the mobs that I've chosen, and I have applied effects to them using commands, so any mob within a particular radius will have a particular effect that I chose. So I'm pretty sure it's strength and region. So yeah, these are all the posts that are scattered around in this somewhat maze, and you'll be walking around this place blind as well because it's going to be pitch black. So in order to prevent yourself from dying, you and your team need to relieve yourself of the wipe mechanic effect by sitting next to one of these posts. So if I remove my effects from myself, pretend I have slowness and poison, when I walk near this pillar, it's burnt out. I'll quickly activate the button. Oh, I'll just find one that hasn't been burnt out because I was testing out this place earlier and I don't want to have to activate the slowness effects. I'll show the redstone. This one here, perhaps. I'll just do this. So when I walk close to this pillar, a text prompt will appear in the chat that's saying Nightly Orbit, which is my in-game name, Vivid Haze Clears, and that's just random nonsense I've done, but basically for a short period of time, as you could see, I got night vision and I also got speed. And with that, it's relieved me of my effects that'll make my character die, and I get night vision and speed to lead the next player on my team towards the next pillar, which then they can help the next person in my team and then the next person in my team to find their pillar. It goes on and on and on until I just activated another pillar there, prevail or die, until your entire team is all clear of their effects that'll kill them. And then by then, your entire team should have been working towards not only relieving themselves of their white mechanic, stuff, their poison, their slowness, but they should also be looking for the secret entrance to the next level, which is, if I go up here, is all of this. Give myself night vision. All of this. I don't know why this mob's up here. I did not intend for this, but this will be another level. If that didn't make sense, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at explaining things, but I gave it my best shot. So that's basically Crota's end bit. I'll show you guys the redstone. I'll show you the prototypes as well. So this is how it works. This is what's beneath all the builds. So when I press this, which is the reset for the relief posts, this is what happens. So a piece of sand is there and it's testing for a player nearby. When I walk into it, if you look at the right side of my screen, I'll get an effect. The sand is pushed, thus cutting the ability for the sand to continue the connection so then I can get the effects. So it's like a one-time thing. I can only get the relief post once and then it's burnt. The actual redstone for it is in here. Which is all the redstone for this thing. And basically, over time, your character will weaken. So, effect at A, slowness 9993, which after a particular amount of time, when the circuit gets to a point, you'll get slowness, and then even more time will pass, and then you'll get a text prompt knowing that the next phase will start, and then you'll get slowness even worse. And then eventually you'll get another text prompt, and then, of course, you'll get poison this time, and it'll work its way up until it gets worse and worse and worse until you get fatal poison, which is this here. And I'm pretty sure there's another one here, which is a text prompt for that one. But that's how it works, and you and your team should be relieving each other so you don't die, and trying to work to get to the next level to eventually escape. Voice crack, sorry. I figured that this place looked too good to just be an entrance. So I built some terraforming, which is all this grass you see around here. I also added some extra stuff to the bridge and some gems around, and I finished off the walls. I didn't do a very good job because I did this half here. It doesn't continue on with what he started, but yeah, I also added these crystals with ash. So I was thinking, because Reese didn't have any ideas, that there's a giant staircase and you gotta work your way up this very thin staircase while skeletons and shulkers will try to hit you off. And then at the top is the real encounter, so that's just the challenge to get to the top. But yeah. We might add a storyline to this raid, that of which we're making. It's kind of a hybrid between, as I said, Dark Below, Crota's End, and Last Wish. This is the third encounter, or the third area we've been working on. If you've ever played... I'll teleport my friends. If you've ever played King's Fall, from the Taken King expansion in Destiny 1, you should be familiar with a encounter called the War Priests. Clear. I'm not fully sure how it works. It's been a long time because that's D1. That's like 2015, last time I did this raid. But basically, a random plate, which are these things here that your team needs to stand on, will be highlighted in a particular order. You need to stand on them in that order in order to be able to damage the boss, which will be standing here. And if you don't do it in the right order, he'll kill you, in summary. So this is the room. We haven't done any of the mechanics yet, which is sad. If this gets, I don't know, enough traction this episode, then maybe we'll have enough motivation to keep on going with this. But this was made by Zoc, but there's no mechanics yet. I know how to do it. We've made the plates. we're thinking of animating the plates, which I've kind of started some practice for animating over here. Which is basically a cloning a particular space, different spaces, into one space in order. So if I start off the chain and do this, so it was just full. I'll do this. This is what it should look like. So it's changing and it looks like the fire's spreading. It's not very good, but it does look like that. And it's cloning each of these one at a time into that space. And that's how I was going to make the animating for the plates having a sequence, an apparent sequence. But yeah, that's what we've got in summary in this world so far. Nothing interesting. You guys probably want to see this. It's a giant taken area. It's like an ascendant realm if you're familiar with Destiny lore. It looks interesting. That's a fact. It looks infinite. Yeah, you don't want to get stuck in here. It's very hard to get out. And you can't break these blocks either in survival. I don't think. But yeah, yeah, it's basically space or taken stuff. But that's what we've got in this world so far. Like and subscribe, because that's the only way that we can actually know if you guys care about this or not. Kill. Yeah. Just gonna do that just to get rid of the mobs because it's laggy over there. But yeah, like and subscribe. If this gets enough views and likes, then I'll definitely continue this on, because this has actually been quite fun. I'm a big fan of Destiny 2. Everybody else in this group here is too as well. We're all 750 light, hyped for Shadowkeep, yeah. And hopefully this will actually be a fully fleshed out raid. Okay, see you guys.